Your Worship. Thank you, Worship. May I proceed, Your Worship? May I put the matter on the roll?
Before you proceed,
Thank you, Worship.
I'm seeing that there are blue lights. I'm not even aware what is happening.
Okay. Thank you, Worship.
To state that during lunchtime,
Okay.
I received about 21 applications for media access to this meeting. And we haven't dealt with the applications.
Yes, Worship. That is true, Your Worship. I did ask the media houses to wait until there's a court order on their applications before they switch their machines on. Therefore, I think they are complying with that. Let's hope. Therefore, Your Worship, we can deal with the application first. I was going to first put the matter on record so that we record everything before, and I mean, including also this application. Can I do that, Your Worship? Thank you, Your Worship. Your Worship, this is case number 8339 of 2026. State versus Julius Mkhwanazi and Michael Ekurhuleni. Your Worship, I don't know if the court will behave with my arrangement that I choose number 1 to be on this side and then 2 on this side.
Number 1 is
One is Mr. Mkhwanazi. You're number 1. This side, sir, please. Thank you, Your Worship. Your Worship, the court is constituted as follows. The business officer is Mr. Manana. For the state is Advocate Ntelwa. The accused are represented as follows, Your Worship. For accused number 1, Your Worship, is Advocate P.A. Wilkins. And for accused number 2, Your Worship, is Advocate Zakwe, accompanied by Advocate Vumbi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. And therefore, accused number 2. And our interpreter is Mr. Tole, while our clerk is Mrs. Kanyahu. Your Worship, this is the first appearance today. And Your Worship, we have the first issue that the court, I asked the court to deal with first, the issue of the application by the media. Your Worship, I did receive copies of their applications. Therefore, Your Worship, I will address as to what is the state attitude after my letter friend have already placed them on record also. As a copy, Your Worship. Oh, touch it.
Yes, Worship, I confirm.
language preference, Mr. Mkhwanazi.
Zulu.
Confirm that Mr. Michael Kapi is on the letter.
Your Worship, I confirm.
Language preference, Mr. Leader.
English.
Advocate, please you confirm that you appeal for accused number 1.
I do indeed confirm that I appear on behalf of accused number 1 as instructed by Sali Corporate Attorneys, Your Worship.
Counsel Advocate Zakwe, you confirm your appearance on behalf of accused.
Good afternoon, Your Worship. I confirm my appearance on behalf of accused number 2 together with my colleague, Mr. Vumbi. We are advocates and members of the Johannesburg Bar. We are instructed by Masigela Masinya Incorporated. Thank you, Your Worship.
Yes, Your Worship, can you now deal with the issue of the media application, Your Worship? Your Worship, the state does not object to the application by the individuals of the matter, but the only condition, Your Worship, that I want to put on only condition, Your Worship, that I want to put on record is to, since this case is drawing a lot of attention, I don't want my face to be in their visuals. And I also talk with the court also when I'm saying so. Also, the court also, it can be protected from the visuals if the court agrees. That is my submission also.
Advocate, please, for number 1.
As it pleases the court, Your Worship, as we indicated to Your Worship in chambers, we were not provided with copies of the applications. However, we assume, Your Worship, that this will be the normal application that is brought under these circumstances. We do not at this stage have any objection to the applications if it is, as we are led to believe, applications as normally brought in the course of these proceedings. Should it later transpire that there is anything that we were not aware of, Your Worship, we will then deal with that.
Counsel Zakwe and for number 2.
Thank you, Your Worship. Your Worship, ordinarily we should have been furnished with a copy of such an application in advance in order to apply our minds thereto and take instructions. At this point, we do not have any instructions. May I be provided indulgence to approach the client and take instructions in that regard? As the court pleases.
Uyabona kunamakhamera la ikhoti kodwa akazi ukuthi njalo namakhumulayo ukuthi awani uyasho umtshutshisi makachaza ukuthi hayi bayenza isicelo lesi sokuthi amakhamera abe khona ukuthi anginankinga nalesicelo lesi sokuthi kube namakhamera kodwa mina isicelo engisicela ukuthi kusho bafuna uyachaza ke lo advocate ukuthi uyachaza ukuthi hayi siyabona ukuthi isicelo senziwe kodwa thina asisazi but asibonkinga but sisafuna ukuthi
Thank you, my Lord. I have taken instructions from my client. In principle, he is not opposed to the recording of the proceedings on the clear condition that his face is not shown in any form whatsoever, whether it's a video or a picture or still pictures at all. But any other thing can be shown, except his face.
Advocate singaqhubeka nesiyenze lesosicelo leso samakhamera kodwa isicelo esicelayo ukuthi ukusho bangungangeni kuvele noma kuvela ungaphuma noma yini kodwa kusho bangungangeni.
Now the various media houses as indicated. Newsroom Africa. Who appears for Newsroom Africa? It's Zolela Kotash. Were you listening to the submission by the counsels for the state and two accused persons? Do you have a legal representative?
No, that's
Another new house is also no legal representative, it's just applications. All 21. There are also newspapers and so we tell you citizen and local information, etc. Plus radio stations. Advocate
Yes, Worship.
for the state
Yes, Worship.
indicated that you do not oppose to that.
Indeed, Worship.
Save for not taking of videos or pictures of yourself, court orders. I would also include members of the public.
No, I did not. I'm just focusing on the court officials.
So court officials, the court orders of this court, the police officers of this court.
Worship, I was including also the prison officer, but I thought maybe I am getting very far. The court can take care of itself. At least for me and the court orderlies. Your Worship, that's what I was going to ask, not to take pictures of them. Thank you, Worship.
From the media houses, any objection if applications are joined? Or are you going to make separate application all 21 of them?
One of our colleagues to send it is to send the application.
Okay, sorry. Rules for the SABC news, because it's the first that I see next to me. Just come forward and
Come forward.
please.
Okay, around.
Sorry, Worship. I have just been informed by my colleague, the clerk of court. She says the recording are struggling to hear them. If someone wants to address the court, just come closer to the mic. I don't know which mic maybe they can use. Maybe.
That's what I was suggesting.
Thank you, Worship.
You are not under oath.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I am Mbalenhle Mthethwa. I'm sorry, can you please repeat the question for me? Yes, I am Mbalenhle Mthethwa, a reporter with the SABC. I have submitted a request on behalf of the Media House to film, stream live, take sound for our radio platforms as well as television and our online.
Members of the public, I just warned that you must bear with us. Just make sure that you are not laughing. We are busy here. Yes, ma'am. What is the nature of your application?
Well, the reason we have requested the application is because we believe that the contents of what will be discussed before this court will be in the public interest, given the fact that it has some of the matters are believed to stem from evidence that has been heard before the Madlanga Commission and has also been ventilated before the Ekurhuleni Council chambers. And and we do believe that this is in the public interest, given the fact that some of these issues have really gotten public interest. We also request permission because we believe that it is also in the best interest of the public to see justice in action and playing out. So as a result, people have, we understand that the charges that some of those who are before this court include corruption, and we understand which is also a matter that speaks to mishandling of public institutions such as the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Department. So for this reason, the matter speaks to issues that are of public interest, and for this reason we request permission to film.
See that in your application you state that these proceedings are televised.
Yes.
Broadcasting of the court proceedings.
Yes.
Taping of the court proceeding for purposes of televising or broadcasting. Use of television, cameras or similar apparatus in course during court session, during recess or immediately prior. Just clarify that.
Okay.
During.
Yes, so the reason we would have made the request in the manner that we have is because we rely on visuals in order to tell stories or to relay the message to the public. So we would like to be able to to capture the witnesses when they are coming out from downstairs coming inside, and also to be able to take the conversations that happen and the discussions that happen in court. But we will respect the conditions and the limitations should the court impose any, in terms of the request that we do not film or show the magistrate yourself on our screens as
abantu kufanele ukuthi bazobona ukuthi inkantolo ihambise kanjani lekala le nokuthi kukhulunyweni la kule nkalo, and futhi nabo abasola ukuthi mabaphuma emasekeni bekhuphuka bazoma la ebhokisini kustendi, and futhi baphinde futhi bayaphandle kufanele ukuthi baze bathathe ithona ukuthi sibonise umphakathi ukuthi siyenzani.
Was every other party involved in these proceedings informed of the criminal officer?
The process that we have often followed is to ask for the permission from the court with the help of the prosecution as well as the police, and we have gone that route as we always do when we apply for permission to film inside any court.
In inkantolo iyabuza ukuthi njengoba nina ngenza lesicelo sena ingaba ukuthi abantu laba abangena kule cala khuluma ngamadoda nama-advocate ukuthi bayazi yini lento le eyicelile uthi ya njengoba thina sijwayele ukuyenza lento le siyenze isicelo kunkantolo njengoba siza lana sicele nomtshutshisi no-advocate sicela isicelo.
There's an indemnity supplied regarding any damages that may cause or arise from cameras or any broadcasting equipment.
We have never had to supply indemnities, and we do not believe that there's any damage that can be caused, given the fact that whatever will be reported on and whatever will be streamed on this platform will be reported on as it is and will not be distorted in any way or used to or sensationalized by any media house. So it will be taken as it is. And this is why we are asking for permission, so that there is no distortion, because if you are able to stream, people can also follow on the discussions here and make up their own opinions and their own minds about what has happened here.
Ukuthi mhlawumbe kungaba lento ama-damage mhlawumbe kube nabantu abazokleyima uthi cha leyo nto angeke ize iyenzakale njengoba sizothatha konke okukhulunywe la enkantolo kube kanjalo bese siyenza leyo nto sibroadcasta lento le nama-news wonke siyathathe la ukuthi inkantolo iyenza kukhuluma kanjalo.
You heard Advocate Zagwe for accused number 2. It appears there is no objection, save that his request is that the face of accused number 2 should not appear.
Sure. With regards to the accused not appearing, I think that would be a miscarriage of what we are trying to do. We are showing the public that the winds of the law are turning, and that accountability is taking place as the public has demanded in the past. And therefore, if we cannot show by way of images and pictures or sound that this individual has indeed been held accountable and is appearing before the court, then it would mean that we are failing the public.
Ukuthi akanankinga nesicelo lesi elisicelayo uyaqhubeka ngaso kodwa kucela ukuthi ubuso baka-accused number 2 bungaveli uthi makasekaphendula-ke sichaza ukuthi yebo thina njengoba size kule cala leli thina simela umphakathi ukuthi yonke into ihambe ngendlela efanele ngoba sifanele ukuthi sithathe ubuso bakhe ubuso baka-accused siphinde futhi siyenze namasound ukwenzela ukuthi umphakathi ubone ukuthi umthetho uhamba kanjani.
We also recognize that accused number 2 is a public figure. Both accused are public figures and are accountable to the public, and we should not be in a position where we are seen to be treating people differently, as we all know that we're all equal before the law.
Accused number 2 no accused number 1 abantu abasebenzela umphakathi asifanelanga ukuthi sibatreat ngendlela ehlukile njengoba nabo bayi-public sifanele ukuthi sibatreat kufana nawo wonke umuntu nokuthi umphakathi ukhona.
Colleagues? Yes, that is all.
Other media members also comfortable with the submissions of the SABC news.
Yes.
Advocate Lera.
Yes, sir.
Any submissions?
None. On top of what I submitted that at the stage does not object to the application. I just asked the court to put only the condition that not to show visuals of the prosecutor and the court officers, the one I'm traveling with, my team.
Ukuthi ngivumelana naye isicelo sabo nesibasicelayo angani kodwa mina ngenza isicelo kwinkantolo ukuthi makungavezwa abantu abasebenzela umbuso amaphoyisa naye abantu abasebenzela umbuso ngicela ukuthi ungathathwa ithuba.
Advocate Wilkins or accused number 1.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have nothing further to add.
As the court pleases, Your Worship. Your Worship, it has just been brought to my attention by my instructing attorney that already we are being beamed on TV. Channel 404 is broadcasting the proceedings. I'm not sure if that is in order. It has just been brought to my attention now.
Njengoba sidlana indaba leseziyavela laphana lithi
404, that is what I'm told.
yilo njengoba khona.
Who are the representatives of Channel 404?
Can I come closer? All media houses made the error of when the court proceeding started, when the magistrate said there is no objection to you've received the application and there's no objection on your part. All media houses all streamed only but for a moment and then stopped. They were all the media houses were informed to stop. And this is a picture not taken from right now. It is only an image that was taken a while ago following that misunderstanding where once the magistrate said there is no objection, it was interpreted as though this is permission being granted.
Siyacela isicelo sokuthi ithombe zivele lapha e-TV uthi ngaleso sikhathi sithathe ukuthi basuke bayinterprete ngendlela erongo ukuthi bathathe ukuthi yebo bayavuma ukuthi bangaqhubeka ngalento bayenzayo kanti leso sithombe leso basiyenze before sizongena la enkantolo kodwa manje sebamyesile bayekile.
I don't recall me saying that there is no objection.
You said on behalf?
Proceedings are broadcast.
Okay.
I was specific when I entered court that I have received about 21 applications.
And
inkantolo yona yena alisho ngokuthi mabaqhubeke ngaso uthi inkantolo mina mangena la ngithethe ukutshela inkantolo ngathi ngithole ama-application ayi-21.
In fact, my first remark was that I observed there are blue lights next to this apparatus.
Lethi mina mangichaza ngithe ngibona ama-blue lights la inkantolo ihleli khona lapho kwi-bench.
Who gave you permission to record these proceedings?
Uthi inkantolo yabuza ukuthi ubani oyiphe igunya ukuthi bangarekhoda le proceedings.
okay.
Before a ruling is pronounced.
Before isinqumo sizothathwa.
There was no permission that was granted. However,
Azange size siphiwe le
once it was made clear by the court that the media houses had to halt recording or any recordings until a decision. It was all the other media houses. Can I see the image?
We are.
The two accused before court are already on TV.
We apologize.
basibabuza ukuthi aba-accused laba ababili sebafikile phambi kwenkantolo ukuthi siyaqinisa.
Counsel for the state,
Sorry, Worship.
you heard the submissions.
Worship, it is disappointing for the media house not to respect the court process.
Kusho ukuthi o-media house ayihloniphi umthetho wenkantolo.
Worship, I'm thinking about the sanction. That conduct should be sanctioned.
Yes.
I'm going to suggest, Worship, that the media house that has shown disrespect to this court be
Excluded for
taken out. Yes, Worship. We don't need that behavior. We don't.
SABC News. Counsel for number one.
Worship, if I understood it correctly, my learned colleagues, the representative on behalf of the SABC, it is not only the SABC that have been in contravention of your lordship's orders and or the process and procedure that is being followed here, but also ENCA and Newsroom Africa. So I respectfully submit, Your Worship, we've made our submissions and I indicated that because we'd not received the applications before and we reserve our rights, it would now appear with great respect, my Lord, Your Worship, that the media houses at this stage cannot be trusted to comply and abide by the process. So I respectfully submit.
So you said it's channel 404, NCA and what?
And Newsroom Africa, if I understood my learned or the representative on behalf of the SABC correctly, she indicated that this was also done by ENCA and Newsroom Africa. So I respectfully submit that if any action is taken against the SABC, the similar action should also be taken against the other two in newsrooms or media houses who had contravened the procedures.
runs hand in hand with open justice.
But if free speech ihambelana together with justice.
There is a leading decided case of the Supreme Court of Appeal regarding media access in court proceedings. It's Van Breda versus Media 24 Limited and others, National Director of Public Prosecution, Media 24 Limited and others, in brackets 425/2017, 426/2017, 2017 in brackets SCA 97, 2017, 3 on SA, page 262, SCA 217, volume 2, SACR 491, delivered on the 21st of June, the year 2017.
But njengoba ichaza imedia njengoba imedia before khona imithetho ebayibekile njengoba khona i-decided case umthetho wakhona uthathwe lapha nge-21 zikaJune 2017.
With regard to freedom of speech and expression, this decision borrowed from various decided cases, including decided cases of abroad.
But imedia speech, freedom of speech, it decided in a case.
One of the remarks by the learned judge of the Supreme Court of Appeal in this case on paragraph 16, I quote, is that section 16 consists primarily of the right and freedom to disseminate information.
But you don't know about that better and apply again. You decided case, you page 16, don't know about the case about if you speech, if I never go to
that the public also has a right to that information.
But you have to know what you told lower opportunity than our information which you have to told.
It is therefore this. Before I go to the ruling of this court, I'm also advised that certain media houses have decided to go and broadcast these proceedings without the court order or ruling insofar as this matter is concerned. However, I'm also aware that insofar as that is concerned, I'm only informed that visuals of the two accused persons and other shoots of the courtroom are the only information that was.
But you don't know many things really, which media houses as a community article informing Zaba accused the Ababili and put in that door in a gazi, the application, is good.
I have listened to the submission by Advocate Zakwe for accused number 2 that his face should not be recorded.
Advocate Zakwe for accused number 2, what
however, on the other hand, I'm informed that accused number 2 also is a member of the public, or he holds a public office. Therefore, public are entitled to know who exactly appeared in these proceedings, together with accused number 1, Mr. Julius Mkhwanazi.
But accused number 2, or 7 and Pagati and put or Pagati. And imagine Pagati, I want to ask which words are like
I am in agreement with the public prosecutor advocate. Insofar as the televising and taking photos of the court staff. Number 1, this court, as the presiding officer, does not allow the media to take photographs or pictures of the presiding officer.
ukuthi nami ngumanje ngimelana no-state prosecutor njengoba chaza ukuthi imedia ingathathi iy'thombe noma i-televise iy'thombe ze-staff.
All court staff, stenographers, interpreters, media is not allowed to take pictures of them.
Ethi-ke inkantolo ikhiphe isinqumo sokuthi ingathathi iy'thombe zomshishisi ne-stenographer ne-interpreter ningathathi.
However, photos of accused number 1 and 2 and broadcasting of these proceedings is allowed. Furthermore, this order is only applicable for purposes of these bail proceedings. Going forward, where the matter is going to go to the High Court, the state and the media houses will have to make a new application. Is that understood? All media houses are joined in this application. Insofar as the sanction is concerned, I am going to reserve that. I would advise the media as time goes on what sanction ENCA and SABC. In fact, to be honest, there is no sanction. Counsel, I don't know what allegations are the two accused facing.
Yes, Your Worship. Your Worship, I have made copy, I have attached the annexure under the J15. Your Worship, the charges against the Your Worship, to be in short, they are divided in 3. The first one, Your Worship, being fraud. And Your Worship, in that fraud, both accused are acting in common purpose.
Is the state alleging that they acted in furtherance of a common purpose?
Yes, Your Worship. Count 2 is defeating or obstructing the ends of justice. Both accused are charged with as they acted in furtherance of a common purpose. Count 3, Your Worship, is corruption. That corruption, Your Worship, is split because of the provisions of the Corruption Act. The same section 4 split, draw the line between the giver of the ratification and the acceptor of the ratification. Hence, you will notice that they are split. Accused number 1 as the receiver, acceptor of that ratification, while accused number 2 as a giver of that ratification. So they are lined like that, Worship, the charges. It's 4. It's 4 because there is giving and accepting. Yes.
So insofar as the charge of corruption is concerned,
Yes, sir.
number 1
Is
charged as a receiver.
is a receiver. Yes.
Number 2 is a
Giver. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. That is all.
Ekurhuleni, do you understand the charges the state has put against you? Also understand.
Yes, I've heard them. That
Counsel, for number 1.
We hear,
Provided with the pending of the charge.
we've just been provided now, simultaneously with your worship, thank you.
Council Advocate Zabo for number 2.
As it pleases the Honorable Court, it's the first time that we are being formally advised of the charges that our clients are facing. We do not have anything in writing. We take notice of what our colleague has placed on record.
Advocate Wilkins for accused number 1. You will have instructions for fail.
Thank you, Worship. Your Worship, the attitude of the state when it comes to bail, we are opposing to the release of the accused on bail. For both accused. And it's going to proceed, Your Worship, as Schedule 5 because of that corruption charge.
Schedule 5
Advocate Wilkins for accused number 1, do you concede that the matter results within the ambit of Schedule 5?
Your worship, being in view of the fact that we've not had insight into the alleged charge sheet, we do not know what is specifically alleged. I cannot at this stage concede that it amounts to a Schedule 5 offence.
Council Advocate Zabo for accused number 2.
As it pleases the court,
Falls within the ambit of Schedule 5.
we are not in a position to neither agree nor disagree therewith in the absence of any charge sheet being furnished to us. Our colleague says because of the corruption charge, it becomes a Schedule 5. We don't know, except to what he said, that there is common purpose alleged. What the amount involved in is at this point. We take notice of what we are being told at this point.
Advocate uyachaza ukuthi asikwazi ukuthi sisho ukuthi Schedule 5 noma Schedule 5 ngoba asikaze siphiwe i-charge sheet ngoba uThuthukisela kasinikezi yona and futhi uyasho ukuthi iba i-Schedule 5 nesizathu se-corruption and futhi uyachaza ukuthi lento lena bebeyenza ngomoya munye ababili.
Advocate Wilkins, do you have instructions to frame bail application for accused number 1?
I have indeed got those instructions, Your Worship. I've furthermore confirmed that we are ready to proceed with the bail application.
Ukuthi advocate yebo ngiphile instruction ukuthi siqhubeke ngesicelo sebheli and futhi singere.
We are ready to proceed.
Instructions to proceed.
Yes, we do, and our affidavit is ready, whether we proceed under Schedule 5 or any other, but we are ready to proceed.
Ukuthi sirethi noma sikhona nge-Schedule 5 noma i-discretions kodwa sirethi.
Council for the state.
Thank you, Worship. Your Worship, the both accused were arrested over the weekend.
Ukuthi aba-accused ababili baboshwe during the weekend.
And Your Worship, I did not get the chance to meet the team after, that arrest.
Ukuthi angitholanga i-chance ukuthi ngihlangane ne-team njengoba baboshwe after mabaqeda ukuboshwa.
Our law in those circumstances, Your Worship, does give the state up to 7 days to prepare for bail, but Your Worship, I'm not going to ask for 7 days. We did have an informal discussion with my Leonard friends.
Ukuthi manje i-state ifanele ukuthi siphiwe i-7 days ukuthi sizokwazi ukuthi mara ngeke ngisho ukuthi kumele i-7 days.
We did have an informal agreement that Thursday we can talk about doing the bail application.
Ukuthi sesikhulumile-ke ukuthi isicelo lesebheli sokhuluma ngaso ngolwesine.
That means, Your Worship, I will only be meeting tomorrow and Wednesday to get the whole information around their arrest from my team, from the team that is, was effecting the arrest.
ukuthi ngizokwazi ukuthi ngithole ithuba lokuthi ngithole kube
Also,
nalethini
since action number 2 was not arrested at
And
his
further,
So
the
therefore
IO
also
is
want
just
to
informing me
confirm
that also, since action number 2 was not
that are
arrested at his home,
connected to him.
so they are also want to confirm the addresses that are connected to him.
ukuthi njengoba ku-accuse number 2 azange aboshele
And we should be of the view that will not need 7 days. At least the 2 days we agreed on.
And we are of the view that do not need 7 days. At least the 2 days we agreed on. I mean, we will try to wrap up.
Then we should
Then-
Wednesday
uphenya
prepare
ngeke
it.
ukuze ngithathe i-7 days kodwa le 2 days siyabona ukuthi yonke into sizothola.
Then worship on Thursday we'll be ready to put our reasons why we are opposing this bill. Then worship.
ngolwesine sizobe sesiredi ukuthi sichaze ukuthi kungani ukuthi lesicelo lesi siyasi-oppose.
Applicants for number 1 was the date of the 23rd of April.
Your Worship, no. With my learned colleague has apparently been in consultation with my colleague appearing on behalf of the second applicant. There was no such discussions between my learned colleague and myself, Your Worship.
Asikaze sike sikhothisane mina naye.
Your Worship, my instructions are to oppose any application.
Ukuthi-ke mina-ke application yami ukuthi oppose noma yisiphi isikhathi.
I am aware, Your Worship, of the fact that unfortunately it is already late in the day, and even if we proceed at this stage, we will probably not finalize the matter.
Ukuthi ngiyabona kuyena ukuthi ngesikhathi asisavumi noma singathi siyaqhubeka kodwa ngesikhathi asisazovunyelwa.
But I respectfully submit, Your Worship, that that is not what should be required of this Honourable Court to decide today. I wish to place on record, Your Worship, in opposing the application for postponement.
Ukuthi-ke njengoba sengitshela inkantolo ukuthi angivumi-ke ukuthi lenkantolo i-postpone ukuthi-ke
That the first applicant was arrested during the early morning hours of Saturday morning
ukuthi-ke akuzokuthi uboshwe itatamusa wesathane
at his house,
endlini yakhe.
and that as a consequence of that, the address of the first applicant has been confirmed.
Ukuthi-ke i-address esazoqala bayizobeka
And I do not think that it will be opposed by the state that that is his address.
ukuthi angikholwa ukuthi umshushishi angabophoza le-address yakhe.
Whilst it is correct, Your Worship, that the Criminal Procedure Act provides for 7 days to enable the state to investigate outstanding issues such as the addresses, there has to be a reasonable explanation for a failure to do so.
Ukuthi yebo siyazwisisa ukuthi kufanele ukuthi isikhathi sele-days kodwa mangifanele ukuthi akaze izathu ukuthi kungani kwenziwa ngani.
To enable the court to exercise its discretion as to whether the court will grant such a postponement or not. I respectfully submit that on the grounds advanced at this stage, there is no grounds as to why the application against the accused or the first applicant should be postponed.
Ukuthi manje inkantolo yena kube yiyo ethatha isinqumo ukuthi idina ngokuthi singazwisisi ukuthi why bafanele ukuthi lesicelo lesipasipoti.
Your Worship, in this regard, I also specifically mentioned that this had obviously been a pre-planned operation in terms of which the members of the investigation team had proceeded to the premises of the first applicant's house.
Ukuthi njengoba-ke labantu laba bahambile-ke bayenzima baka-suspect number 1
And he was arrested as a result of the operation.
ukuthi ufike waboshwa-ke ngaleyo operation leyo.
Now, Your Worship, under these circumstances, one would expect the state to have its house in order and to be able to proceed with the bail application.
Ukuthi sicela umshushisi-ke alungise izinto zakhe ukuthi sizokwazi ukuthi siqhubeke ngalesicelo.
And the fact that this has not been done, Your Worship, I respectfully submit, prejudices the first applicant.
Ithi manje njengoba umshushisi angadlula ngalesicelo ukuthi ngamanye amagama unyathelisa amalungelo wakhe suspect.
We accordingly submit, Your Worship, that a proper case has not been made out for a postponement against the first applicant. Alternatively, if Your Worship should feel or should be inclined to grant the postponement, I respectfully submit, Your Worship, that Wednesday would be a more suitable date than Thursday. If I understand my learned colleague correctly, the only issue that needs to be confirmed is the address of the second applicant. So one does not need 2 days to do that, Your Worship. And if we could then proceed on Wednesday to ensure that the applicant is detained as shortly as possible under these circumstances. Unless there's anything else Your Worship wishes to hear me on, that will conclude my address in this regard, Your Worship.
This is the Honorable Court, Your Worship. I fully concur with the submissions made by my colleague, Advocate Wilkins, in this matter, and further wish to state that as much as Section 60, subsection 5060 of the CPA makes it possible for the state to obtain a postponement for up to 7 days, such a postponement is not a matter of right. We all know that in our law, any matter that involves a postponement, it's a question of an indulgence. It's not there for the taking. Any party seeking a postponement must motivate it fully as to why it requires a postponement. The state has to spell it out clearly what information is outstanding that they still need to follow up on. If I understood my colleague correctly, he needs to verify the address of our client accused number 2. Our submission is that that does not take 48 hours to do. Our client lives not more than 10 kilometers from here. That can be done this afternoon or tonight or tomorrow morning, and then on Wednesday we resume with the application. And of particular significance, our client was arrested on a warrant of arrest, and that implies or presupposes that at the time when that warrant of arrest was applied for, the state was in possession of all material facts pertaining to our client. In this regard, I wish to refer the Honorable Court to this specific case of Singata, SINGATHA, and another versus the Minister of Police and another. It's a 2015 decision delivered on the 26th of March 2015 by the Free State High Court, where the court said a prosecutor's function is not merely to have the matter placed on the roll, to then simply be postponed for further investigation. A prosecutor must pay attention to the contents of his docket
umshutshisi umsebenzi wakhe kufanele ukuthi apay attention kwi-docket yakhe ama-context.
as set out above. A prosecutor must act with objectivity and must protect public interest.
Umshutshisi kufanele ukuthi ayenze ama-activities wakhe and yena kufanele ukuthi avikele umphakathi.
Unquote. What we are experiencing now is that indeed the state has done what this judgment is discouraging. They've placed the matter on the roll. They want to go and ask for a postponement for investigation of certain information that is not clear. In this case, we are told it's an address which cannot take 48 hours to do.
Ethi manje umshutshisi kwenza i-opposite yale case le eshilo ufake le case lena bebone makaqeda ukuyopay.
A bail application is inherently urgent by nature, Your Worship.
Bathi isidingo se-application yinto nje eyi-nature application efast.
The case law is clear. The SAPS Magistrate case is very clear on this point.
Ithi-ke masibheka nje i-case law ichaza kahle i-clean.
I therefore ask the court to inquire from my colleague what exactly needs to be investigated until Wednesday.
Ngicela inkantolo ukuthi inibuze umshutshisi kahle ukuthi sizwisise kahle ukuthi kahle yini into efanele ukuthi iyopay.
Alternatively, we ask the court if it decides to grant them an indulgence to check whatever is outstanding. Only tomorrow and then on Wednesday we should resume with the bail application.
Uma kuthi mhlambe unkantolo uyabanikeza ithuba ukuthi yebo baphenye lolo cala lelo kufanele ukuthi bakuthole. Kodwa ngolosithathu bese siyaqhubeka siyaqala-ke ngesicelo sekusebenzisa.
As the court please, Your Worship.
Advocate Zakwe, substantiate why do you not support? Substantiate why do you need until 23 April?
Thank you, Worship. I was reluctant to go this deep, but now I have to go deep.
Yes.
I was hoping actually number one has already informed my learned friend. On arrest, he was, the police found lot of ammunition in his
Ithi
place.
manje ngoba manje njengoba bengafuni ukuthi kube ne-deep kule cala leli njengoba inkantolo iyasho. Ingaba ukuthi u-Advocate Mkhwanazi ingaba umtshelile ummeli wakhe ukuthi mabaphoyisa afike laphiyana bathole izinto.
Now, Your Worship, since he is in the police line of duty, the team is still looking whether did he have permission to keep that ammunition in his place.
Njengoba umunye wephoyisa ukuthi ingaba ukuthi uphiwe igunya noma njengoba kuyiphoyisa ingabe ukuthi uphiwe ukuthi ifanele ukuthi azigcine kuye na.
Considering that he is on suspension. So that is what now the police are liaising with the EMPD.
Ithi njengoba ke aku-suspension manje amaphoyisa aphiza asebenzisana ne-EMPD.
We might be aiding those charges if really it found that he was not supposed to be having that. But as for now, we are trying to find out if there is a legal basis for him to keep them.
Kufanele ukuthi ku-edwe amanye ama-charges ukuthi ingabe ukuthi kusemthethweni kufanele ukuthi awagcine laphayana kuye.
Advocate Mela,
Sorry.
confine yourself to the issue of bail application. Remember, it is the state that has indicated there are 3 charges against this.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay.
I am not dealing with further investigation
Oh, I see.
issues or merits of the case. I'm dealing with the issue of bail. Why is the state requiring until Thursday for bail application?
Ithi inkantolo-ke i-state advocate mayiqalisise kahle lokhu bakubuza khona. Lana sikhuluma ngamacala amathathu laba ku-Advocate Mkhwanazi babhekane nawo. Kodwa asikhulumi ukuthi i-state sisitshele ngama-merits ukuthi i-case lena ibeka kanjani. Nokuthi futhi le cala leli lisaphele.
Let me confine myself to
Kungani le cala leli
what the police are still doing with the 2 accused.
Thank you, Worship.
They are
Let me confine myself to
with their profile.
what the
Checking
police
the
are
profile.
still doing with the 2
objective is
accused.
not to go and check their
They are still looking at their profile. checking a profile of worship is not to go and check the address of a person.
You profile someone if he stay here with whom, whereas he also can go.
You profile someone
The links that
if he is staying here with whom, where else he also
the
can
police must
go.
confirm each.
All the links
That is
that
what
the
I mean, we call the profiling
accused is
certificate.
having. The police must confirm each
To
of
understand.
those links.
If
That is
he
what
is
we calling the, we call the profiling
Which
of
other
each
places
accused
he
for the court
can go and
to understand. If maybe he is given bail, which other places he can go and hide it. That is what we are looking at when we say we're copying the address.
If you don't about amaphoyisa ke basaphenya basabheka ukuthi yebo u-accuse ukuhlala kulendlu neziphi ukuthi indawo ayakuzo ukwenzela ukuthi uma ukuthi uyabalenga bayazi ukuthi bamxhumanisa neziphi indawo abafuna ukubona.
And who are his relatives and where are they staying?
Nokuthi inhloko zakhe abobani and futhi inhloko zakhe zihlala.
Your Worship, it is my submission that 2 days is not unreasonable. There are 2 accused here, not 1. As a court basis, Your Worship.
Advocate Wilkins, you have the submission by the state. Why we need a
Yes, Your Worship, with all due respect, and I say this with the greatest respect to my learned colleague, it would seem as if the position of the state is shifting in this regard. There was mention made in the application for the postponement only of the fact that accused number 2 was not arrested at his house, as a result of which the address had to be confirmed. We are now told, Your Worship, that in addition to the fact that accused number 1's address had been confirmed, he has to be profiled. Once again, Your Worship, with the greatest respect, in respect of the first applicant, that does not amount to a reason for a postponement. That profiling is to be done before the arrest of a person, such as the accused. Because, Your Worship, we all know that the state has to look at the case, investigate the matter, and when they are of the opinion that they have sufficient evidence on which to charge the first applicant, they are then to proceed to charge him. But they should do it in such a manner that when they effect the arrest, especially in this instance where there was a whole investigation done, that the investigation is complete so that they are able to take the matter to trial and that a bail application can be dealt with as expeditiously as possible. Whether the accused has any alternative addresses or his family members where he can go to, Your Worship, those are issues that are easily determinable before the arrest of the accused and does not have to be done after the arrest of the accused. I respectfully maintain, Your Worship, that if Your Worship is inclined to grant a postponement, that it should not be to Thursday, but as soon as possible, to enable the first applicant to enforce his fundamental right to freedom. Your Worship, the other issue that I would just like, as a result of what my learned colleague had raised now in his address, and Your Worship quite correctly asked him to just abide by the ruling of the court and to address the court on the issues raised by the court, is to just indicate to us the basis on which bail will be opposed, because we do not know on what basis bail will be opposed, so that we know, Your Worship, that we can deal with it beforehand and we're not surprised on the next occasion and then have to take alternative steps. But so.
ngoba kufanele ukuthi asitshele ukuthi yini isizathu lesi akukuze application and futhi asitshele manje singafiki mase sifika sesimangala sesithola ezinye izinto.
And we can then confine us to those issues, Your Worship. That will also ensure that the bail application does not become unnecessarily protracted under these circumstances. Can I just take instructions from my then? Yes, Your Worship. In addition, we also request the state to provide us with a copy of the charge sheets so that we can peruse it, prepare ourselves on the issue of the relevant schedule.
As the copy is Your Worship, according to the copy of the warrant of arrest in terms of which our client was arrested, it appears that these offences that form the basis of the present charges were allegedly committed in 2019. That is 7 years ago. My colleague will correct me if I'm wrong in that regard. And the police have been investigating this matter secretly without my client knowing for the past few years since 2019. Whatever they don't have today, it's not clear why they don't have it. Whether they will have it within the next 2 days, I doubt.
After 2 days, I go on.
For instance, our client was arrested at the airport yesterday morning when he returned from Cape Town. How the police were able to determine or find that he was there at the time is unknown, but they did not manage to establish his address. The issues that my colleague says they want to establish in the next 2 days, I think profiling a person, Your Worship, for the past many years that I've been doing this job, profiling a person requires one to sit in front of the laptop, check if he's got previous convictions, the issues of who is connected with the friends where he can go to and the relatives. It should have been done before the arrest when our client was not arrested. Instead, they decided to arrest and then investigate. In conclusion, Your Worship, we submit that the issues that the state wants to investigate cannot take more than 2 days. Tonight and tomorrow, those are minor issues if they were able to tell that my client at a certain time will be at the airport yesterday. Our client is employed as a city manager in this region, Ekurhuleni municipality. May I request the Honorable Court not to grant 2 days, but 1 day, just tomorrow only, and then on Wednesday we start the bail application.
For the last time, advocate for the state.
Yes, sir. No, sir. I've made my submissions. Thank you, sir.
It's common cause that today, even if we attempted to proceed with this bail application, not have maybe finalized even
kuyafana noma le cala leli ngabe besithi siyayenza isicelo sebheli for application starting high number 1 esingeke size.
I also stood down and mentioned in a court in parted to busy. I was hoping that it's going to be an application and then it was for the application, but so many things has happened in this process.
Yethi ngoba mina nginicala leli ngabe very busy ngabe le parted bese ngiqalile bengicabanga ukuthi ngizoqeda njengoba ngiyazi ukuthi leli isicelo nje nase immediate application yakho.
It appears to me that counsel for accused number 1 and 2 are not necessarily objecting to the remand. However, their submission is that the matter can be postponed up until Wednesday, and the state requested that Thursday.
Lithi manje masibheka ke councillor waka accused number 1 and number 2 abali ukuthi icala leli li-postpone kodwa nje bona bafuna ukuthi icala libe ngolwesithathu kungabe ngolwesine.
And I'm also aware that all parties are aware that we are not remanding the matter for 7 days, but before 7 days.
Futhi sonke nje sila enkantolo siyabona ukuthi le cala asihlekisi for 7 days njengoba siyavumelana ukuthi siyohlekisa less than 7 days.
To this court, Wednesday and Thursday, yes, they are 2 different days. However, should the state not be ready on Wednesday, they are also going to come up with issues and request another postponement. Rather, remand the matter until 23 Thursday for purposes of the application. State is ordered to furnish the defense with the annex to the charge sheet in order for them to prepare.
Lithi njengoba
The
le
case is remanded until 3 April 2026 for formal bail application. We are both in custody of the district.
lithi njengoba ama-advocate afuna Wednesday umshushisi ufuna Thursday makafika Wednesday besathi umshushisi asikwazanga ukuphela kuzofanele ukuthi alihlekise ngoba masibheka Wednesday no-Thursday azihlukanga kangako zihluka nje ngamalanga ngoba le cala leli ke livukile nge-26.
It's a court business.
As the court pleases your worship.
As it please the court, Your worship.
Worship, that was the only matter I had before you. May the court adjourn. Thank you, worship.
All right, stand. Let's just make sure that there is no otherwise, going forward, the court is going to make another order. Only court officials can representative and
Batara ukuthi phakathi usebenzisane kahle nenkantolo ingayizwisile ngoba next time manithi niyeza inkantolo ngeke isaphinde imvumele ukuthi ngaphakathi bazofaka nje